Yes.
You can't just say, hey, I'm going to start a business today and start a business. Because I know some people have, they might work a day job and they're working on their, their business at night. It's very difficult to devote time like that. And if you're going to start a business, you got to give it 100% because you can't, you're half stepping on both, okay? It's really hard to do that. When I decided to start my firm, I think I had been practicing not even 6 months. I had been working at a firm, I was putting in major hours, it was paying me good, 15 grand a month. But I'm like, hey, by the time you divide how many hours I'm spending in this law firm, by how much you're paying me, even though it seems like a lot of money, it was like a $2 whole principle. Like, I'm really getting like $2 an hour because I'm spending 80 hours a week in here. So I was like, hey, this isn't going to work. So what I began to do was, I read a book, I did some research that said when you start a business, have 1 year's worth of expenses set aside.
And they think that business plan does not change. Just because you have a business plan doesn't mean that it's set in stone. Next year it might change, and the year after it might change. But I tell people all the time, I get emails and I get people coming in the store and they're like, well, can you talk to me? I want to do this and I want to do that. Just because the picture looks rosy doesn't mean it's rosy. Just because it looks good doesn't. I like to look good because I like to feel good. And everybody in business wants to feel good, wants to look good, but it's hard. I have 4 boys. I've been married 11 years. When I started my business, I went 2 years before I started. I didn't talk about what I was doing until I sat in the middle of a store that was empty. Because when you talk about what you're doing, the negativity around you discourages you from making that step. So surround yourself, and I can't stress this enough, surround yourself around positive energy, around the people that's going to motivate you as women to push you to go ahead and do it. You have to. You have to. So I'm going to say it again. I did not talk about what I was doing until I stepped myself in the middle of an empty place. Imagine this place empty, because people will discourage you from doing it. Doesn't mean you're going to sit in there and it's like, oh, this is great, we're here now. I have kids in the back, customers in the store. Nobody can imagine what's going on in the back. Video games running. You do everything possible to keep your doors open. But 5 years later, I'm still here. But the struggles of it is hard. You just have to make it through. Your business plan changed. Just like she said, I was making this amount of money, but I couldn't buy them $200 shoes. I had $200, $300, $400, $500 pair of boots and shoes. And all of a sudden, people like her wasn't buying them shoes anymore. But it's like, Shauna, what happened to them $200 and $300 and $400 shoes? And I'm like, y'all asked them for them, but y'all not buying them. So, my business plan changed. I had to shift it from this and go to my designers and say, I can't buy this couture line anymore. I need this. Still Italian shoes, but I used to be 80-20, 80% Italian, 20% Brazil and China market. Now I'm 60-40. My business plan changed, but you have to know what you're doing in anything you do, whether it's music, whether it's DJing, whether it's being a lawyer, whether it's radio. You have to know what you're doing. If it's clothes, if it's hair, whatever it is, you have to know your business. If you don't know your business, it will fail.
Yeah.
So every day, when it changes, you need to know when it changes. So when your business plan needs to change, you need to change it, or it will fail.
Everything that these young ladies are saying, if you guys can get it, is you got to do research. If you're constantly researching, with the internet, everything's literally at our fingertips, so there's no excuse. So always research, and that's going to make you able to adapt. Be like, oh, I'm already ready. I'm 10 steps ahead because I've already done research. So do research, and she's absolutely right, which is why I'm on the quest of my journey. Good things will happen when you surround yourself with good people. I know that for a fact. So I don't know what current situation you may be in or the situation that you want to be of, but know that when you surround yourself with good people and good things will happen. That's just the equation.
I just want to touch right there on that. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The journey is going to be difficult within itself, right? But the people that you love the most may be the ones that hurt the most when it comes to stepping out on the journey. So I want you guys to get it already in your mind that whatever it is that you are trying to do, there has to be a center faith, And there has to be that, at least one person that you can count on outside of yourself that says, it's okay, you gotta go. You know, because some of you may have to do some radical things. You know, it might be, some of you might have to have your children stay with their father for a year. And that might be difficult for the people around you because you're women. And if you don't smoke crack, or if you don't drink alcohol every day, or if, you know, you're taking care of your children, then why is it that you as a mother have to give your children to their father? Now, I'm not saying leave them with their grandmother, and if that's the case, you might have to do that too. But it's nothing wrong with a father taking care of their children. And sometimes you stepping out on your dream and stepping out on faith, it just may take that. It may take you calling home every day, tucking your child in over a telephone call, rather than actually putting the sheets over their head. And so you have to be prepared for those type of things. Now, in the same turn, you would have to do with the father that you would expect the father to do with you. So that means if he was giving you $200 a month, you might want to in turn be ready to give him back $200 a month. And if you can't afford that when you jump out there, be honest. I know you're helping me out. I know you accustomed to giving me $200 a month, but I can give you $125 without a problem. It'll be there every month on the 15th. Would you take this $125? And be real true with yourself, real true with the people around you, and move forward. Because when you look back on it, your children are seeing a person who actually sacrificed everything so they can have a better life in the end. And there's nothing like a child waking up seeing their mother and father going after their dreams. It makes it so much easier for them. Even in school, you'll see a difference in school. When a teacher will say, you can't do that, and they'll be like, yes, I can. I can do all of this. You know, just give me the paper. I can show you how I can do it. It'll make a difference in your life when the people around you see you pursuing your dreams. And then they'll start to pursue their dreams. And they'll start to feel like, I can do anything. And that's a whole nother dynamic.